Hey there, guys, gals, non-binary pals. It's Bad Doc Boone here with a new video for the new channel. Anyway, we're going to get back to a Sonic Seller posting later today or early tomorrow. I got to get that shot and put up in advance because I have to work tomorrow. I have a day off from the paying job today, so I'm going to spare a few minutes to talk about being June 1st. June 1st means the beginning of Pride Month here in the U.S. And Pride Month, it's when the LGBTQ community gathers to celebrate the battles and struggles, and that over the years, that's a movement that for many people, the modern movement, either as a protest or a riot, depending how you view Stonewall. Although there were battles and little things before that as well, but the time, the research, and those videos, we tracked everything. Would make the video way longer than the time limit I have. And to the long, slow battle to make it not a mental disorder, and for their rights to be somewhat equal to straight people. However, this year, last couple of years, there have been attempts to take away LGBTQ rights, especially rights for trans people, usually pushed in a lot of states by short-sighted politicians who are motivated probably somewhat by bigotry, but also to appease a very narrow interpretation of one religion, despite the fact that we have separation in church and state in this country. So the LGBTQ community, while you're celebrating Pride, I assume there's also going to be moments that you're going to be networking, and there's probably going to be some organizing involved because unfortunately, I have a feeling things are going to get worse before they get better again. And with the normalizing of homophobia, which seems to be more like the homophobes feeling empowered to come out of the closet. Yes, I get the analogy, but and be hateful again. And it's going to get ugly for a little bit. But anyway, the LGBTQ people watching this, you're not alone. Anyway, they know their struggles. They know what the battle up ahead. And I'll let people who know far more about what's at stake talk about those and elsewhere. What I want to focus on is some of the people who are at best uneasy are going to complain and try to sow division by posting hateful shit about Pride Month. Some of the people sharing this may be just misguided or confused. They've been led to believe, either due to religion or growing up rather isolated in communities that don't have a lot of gay people, certain things about LGBTQ people that aren't true or misguided at best. And yes, I know there are people who do sick shit to other people in every walk of life, but to say it's overwhelmingly one community is misguided and misleading at best. First argument I'll say is people are going to complain the gays are just shoving their lifestyle down our throats. Like, first, are you sure you want to use that analogy? Kind of sounds like you're hiding something. Yeah, a lot of LGBTQ people just want to live openly and live their truth. They don't really think about you when doing it. They're not trying to piss you off. They're not trying to make you angry. And before you go about protecting children, it's like, are your children really going to be traumatized if they see a gay same-sex couple holding hands or kissing? I mean, there's plenty of heterosexuals that do horrific things that might traumatize them more. So this one is basically, you might want to use a different analogy because the way you tend to use it, you tend to think more about gay sex than most LGBTQ people think about sex. So then the next one is like guys saying, they better not go in the bathroom after my daughter. This is aimed at trans people specifically, but I'm sure they'll target lesbians with it too. Or with some dads even go, I'm going to stand outside the stall door where my daughter does her business. First of all, this is really going to cause more harm than good, and especially in public restrooms. Another woman using the stall. One hand, you want to be yourself as a caring dad. Maybe there's, but if there's no woman in the stall and you're a guy bursting in, that other woman in the other stall doesn't know you. They doesn't know what your intentions are. In her eyes, you might be a predator. In addition, if you're trying to protect from predators, you might want to focus less on trans people or LGBTQ people in general, and more on people that you may already know. More people, say, relatives, family, friends, maybe people go to your church. Remember, abusers usually hide in plain sight, And a lot of people are more likely to be abused by someone they know than some random trans person or some drag queen story hour that's going to recruit your kids. Ooh. Yeah. Maybe want to worry about what's happening in your own backyard. And if you're living in a small town where there aren't any open gay people or that you're aware of, you might want to be cautious about, your drinking buddies or somebody at your church, like, say, a youth pastor. And trust me, a lot of youth pastors have some scary things in the background, usually involving inappropriate relations with teenage girls that, not every case, but enough where it's an issue. When some cases churches know about it and when they hire the person. So you might want to think about that. Then there's finally the people going to complain, and this is going to be the big one you're going to see. Guarantee you'll see this on social media. Share, why is it that gays get a whole month for Pride, but there's not a month for the military or veterans? Now, some of these bot farms are foreign, based in other countries, so they might not know. However, for those people in America who think of sharing this, go to your local favorite search engine, whether it's Bing, DuckDuckGo, Google. I'm sure there's some other ones still out there. Type in U.S. Military Appreciation Month. Then you'll learn that happened in May. In fact, the one for 2026 ended yesterday. Type in Veterans Appreciation. You'll find out that's in November. Type in though before you're tempted to share that. And it'll save you a whole lot of embarrassment or a whole lot of being called out by people, and then you're pretending that's just your opinion or something like that before you say something stupid. But, the reality is a lot of these are going to be shared in bad faith even by Americans, because some people just want to be shitty to a group of people they don't understand and don't like. I wish it wasn't that way, but sadly it is. And while the internet was pitched 25 years ago, people were saying be this great tool to eradicate prejudice and bring about knowledge. Unfortunately, it's landed a very far way from that goal. So anyway, to the LGBTQ people, LGBTQIA people out there, happy Pride Month. Hope that while you're celebrating, at least take a moment to remember the struggle is still going to continue, and part of getting human rights means rights for all. And yes, for those out there who don't understand, that also includes trans rights and LGBTQ rights in general. As for those out there who want to shit on Pride Month and still spread their rumors even after confronted with facts, you have the month you deserve. Anyway,